Let's welcome to the Slumbook Millionaire, Miss Sheena
Gorgonio.
Thank you so much for that. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine na magiging coach ako at this point. When I was younger, I went through a very bad breakup. Ang daming self-values na na-compromise because of that. If I'm going to lose myself because of this relationship, it's not the relationship that God has prepared for me. There's actually a technique that you can do when you feel triggered. Love is God and perfect love. It is found by knowing the Lord. Love will not hinder you from doing the things that you love. Mas ipupush ka pa if they really
Yes.
love you. It casts out fear.
Have you always been this prim and proper? Try mo nga, girl. Dali-dali kayain mo siya. Tapos yung ganun ka soft-spoken.
Hirap.
Remember passing around slam books when you're in high school? Those questions about your crush, your dreams, your friends, and even your first love. We thought they were just for fun.
But what if those questions actually held the secrets to success?
Welcome to
Slumbook Millionaire!
Welcome to
Slumbook Millionaire!
with Joanna
And Jev,
Season 2, Episode 5! Ang taas
Ang taas kagad. Mukhang nandami na naman natin sugar na nakain, Jevely. So, sa ating mga viewers, grand rising to all of you guys. Welcome to a new episode of Slumbook Millionaire. And
Yes.
once again, this is an exciting episode. Kasi, we're gonna be interviewing.
Ask me why, ganun.
Ask me, why? Kasi we will be interviewing another powerful woman.
Alright.
Diba?
Not just powerful, beautiful, check.
Yes.
Successful, check.
Yes.
Sexy, check.
Yes,
Lahat
of
na.
course naman. Of course, we also want to acknowledge all the men
Of
na naging
course.
guest na dito sa Slumbook Millionaire and also yung mga magiging guest pa namin. Wala naman po kami favoritism dito, pero nagkataon lang, of course, women empowerment, diba? Kaya syempre, kampi-kampi kami mga babae. So, what do you know about our guest ngayon? Javelin.
I met her in one of Fibo Lean's event, 16X Marketing. And sila yung group nila na parang, napaka-sexy naman, ang gaganda. And yet, they're very successful. Sometimes kasi, you know ano ba yung tawag doon? People who say na, pag sexy ka, in the US, if you're blonde, you're,
O, di ko naman naririnig yung ganyan.
usually, parang you're just the face and the body. But this, our
Sanay kasi
guest,
ako, nasanay na kasi ako, Jeff, na siguro because ang tagal ko na rin, dami ko nang nasanay na ako na matic na parang one whole package yung
Yes.
nakikita. Pero hindi siya uy, ang ganda mo, pero ba't hindi ka walang ganon.
yes, but our guest right now, sobrang empowering, so inspiring. And yung mga achievements na in life at a young age na achieve na, iniisip ko, anong ginagawa ko at this age? Because I heard, parang she became a millionaire at age 22. Anong taon ako nito? Anong ginagawa ko at that time, diba?
Yes.
So, nakaka-inspire. And I hope ang mga viewers nating mga Gen Zs, even millennials, or anyone who's watching the podcast right now, na you listen. Kasi her story is very inspiring. And I'm so
Yes.
excited to learn that. And
Yeah.
to get to know more of our guest today.
Oo. Just to add lang doon sa age 22, kasi this is actually a very hot topic recently. 'Di ba? Alam naman natin, merong lumabas na parang if you're already 25 at di ka pa successful.
Narinig ko yan.
'Di ba? So, here, hindi naman po natin sinasabi dito na, uy, dapat 22. 22 na siya, dapat maging successful na rin ako. Anong edad na ba? No comparison because at the
Correct.
end of the day, we have our own journeys.
We have our own
Right?
timeline.
We have our own timelines. So you do you.
Yes, you
because
do you,
success,
girl.
right? Wala yang matanda, bata.
Walang deadline.
Yes,
walang timeline.
walang status sa life.
Correct.
Yes. As long as you're happy, you do what you have to do and wala kang nasasaktan na tao, doon tayo.
Yes.
Right? So, yung guest natin, yun na nga. So, I'm also excited to have this conversation with her because I actually read her profile. And one of the things that struck me the most is that she has been coaching for more than 5 years na. Tapos nagpunta siya sa event natin na Millionaire Mind Intensive.
Yes.
And nakwento niya nga sa atin kanina na parang talagang ang dami niyang realizations when she was in the Millionaire Mind Intensive to the point na when she became vulnerable doon mas nagkaroon ng breakthrough for her.
Yes.
So it's something siguro na gusto rin nating i-amplify to the viewers, no, na parang sometimes people would see vulnerability as a weakness, but the truth is there's really power when you allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Yes, and one thing I noticed, if you notice also sa mga guests natin, they're very successful and yet they never stop learning.
Exactly.
She mentioned,
Student of
diba?
life.
Yeah, student of life. Sabi nila, we love, you love education, you love learning.
Yes.
And it's something na you have to take note. Learning is not an overnight process. It's a continuous process. Doesn't mean na, alam mo yung attitude na, alam ko na yan eh.
Yes, the number one disease that already killed billions of people around the world for many centuries now is the acne disease.
Yes, alam ko na yan. Just in case hindi nyo alam yung acne. Baka naman
Yes.
acne na.
Pero dahil alam ko na yan, na ang guest natin magpo-provide ng maraming insights.
Yes, simulan
At excited
na
na ako,
natin.
girl, dun sa mga Islam book revelations niya sa atin.
The other side.
Yes.
Maybe you know, you've heard or seen her in social media. Ito, first time nyong maririnig. Nare-reveal niyang mga secrets para sa atin.
Yes. So, let's call her in.
Yes.
Sobrang excited na rin yata siya na sumama sa huntahan nating dalawa. So, without further ado, let's welcome to the Slumbook Millionaire, Miss Sheena.
Gorgonio.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Joanna and Miss Jeb. And
Welcome.
thank you for inviting me here. I'm
Of
very
course.
excited to be here. You two, kayong dalawa po, are two women that I look up to. Very inspiring, and you've built such an amazing and successful on education business here in the Philippines. And I'm very grateful I've met you sa program ni FIBO, and you actually introduced me to MMI because that program that you have in Lorus, it was very transformative, not just for me but also for my husband. So very grateful for that.
Thank you. And we're grateful that finally, Sheena Gorgonio, we can proudly say you are now part of the Lawrence family, right? From MMI, right now
Yes.
nag-quantum leap ka. So, backtrack lang muna tayo.
Yes.
Sino ba si Sheena, no? Para at least yung mga followers mo, yung mga kino-coach mo, and yung mga fans mo, they wanna know more who you are. So first question ko ko sa Sheena, ano yung dream mo when you were young? Did you always wanted to be a coach ba, helping other people? Or may iba kang pangarap?
Actually, never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine na magiging coach ako at this point. As a child, I've always wanted to become a flight attendant.
Oh, para pangarap.
Yeah. Diba? I think a lot of mga girls
Yes.
nung bata, nangarap na maging flight attendant. Because we see the flight attendants, they walk down the airport.
Sexy,
ang gaganda,
gorgeous.
right?
Well kept.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super glamorous. Tapos nakikita natin, they get to travel the world for
Yes.
free.
Yes.
So, that was really my dream when I was a child. I wanted to become a flight attendant. Actually, hanggang college talaga, yun na talaga yung dream ko, to become a flight attendant. But however, that dream didn't happen because after I graduated college, that was 2019. So I graduated June 2019. And then after that, I actually worked as a barista.
Barista.
Sa isang famous coffee company, the most famous coffee company
Naitago
here.
na lang natin. Huwag na natin ilabas.
Oh, yan natin yeah.
Kasi papagalitan tayo ng prod natin.
Yeah. We couldn't mention names.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, it's a very famous coffee company. I became a barista kasi sabi nila, you need to have a customer service experience para may edge ka when you're going to apply as a flight attendant. So, I worked as a barista for like 3 months. However, during that job, I realized na kakayanin ko ba maging FA? Parang mas mahirap pa dito yung gagawin ko if I'm going to be an FA because, di ba, pag mag-FA ka, you're going to work graveyard. Tapos, you fly, you serve the people. Obviously, it's not an easy job. So, doon nakita ko yung magiging glimpse ng future ko. So, after 3 months, I decided to quit the job because I got so burnt out. Sobrang pagod yung balikat ko. Laging ang sakit. Kasi lagi ka nagpa-pump ng syrups, right? So,
Pero diba, barista is one of the most looked up professions na rin right now. And yet talagang
Oo,
nakakapagod.
yeah.
Diba?
And yeah, we should really look up to them because what they do is not just making coffee. They also do lots of other things.
Yeah,
So,
even customer service, sila
Yes.
yung face,
Yeah.
sila yung
Mm.
nakaka-receive ng lahat ng complaints and how
Yeah,
to
yeah.
handle that.
yeah, the ability to handle people, dun ko din natutunan yung skill na yun. So,
Mhm.
that was a very helpful job for me. But I decided to quit because I didn't feel aligned with it anymore.
Mhm.
I realized na I want to do something that is more aligned with my passion.
Mhm.
So, as a child po kasi, nung bata pa lang ako, talagang lagi na akong nagde-design sa Photoshop.
Mhm.
I've been
You're very
creating my
creative.
blogs. Yes,
Yes.
po, I'm very creative. So, not knowing na later on in life pala, yun pala yung mga gagawin ko na I'm going to design brands and websites. So, after I quit my job, that was February 2020. And remember, March 2020,
Yes,
nag-pandemic.
Yes,
Lockdown.
yes.
Right?
Oo.
So, wala talaga akong chance to pursue my FA dream kasi na-retrench
Fresh out
lahat.
of college ka ba, no?
Yes, I
Okay.
was fresh out of college.
Mm-mm.
So, yun, nag-pandemic and I couldn't apply sa mga traditional na companies because it's the pandemic. So, sabi sa
Yes.
akin ng boyfriend ko, now my husband, he told me na, why don't you try out freelancing? You have services, you have skills that you can offer as services. And that time naman, so syempre tambay ako. Wala naman akong ginagawa, nasa
Oo.
bahay lang because it's the pandemic. Everything is closed down. Naretrench yung mga tao, even in the
Yes.
airline industry, right?
Correct.
So sabi ko, sige, I'll check that out. And, I didn't overthink it. Sabi lang niya sa akin, i-check mo. And that's really the kind of person that I am.
Action
I'm
taker.
not afraid to try new things and check it out. And it turned out to be one of the best decisions that I made because I found an opportunity during the pandemic to earn money while
Yeah.
everything was closed down.
Yes.
And I was still able to provide for my mom because it was just the two of us back then
Yes.
na lang kasi I already lost my dad before I graduated college. So that was such a blessing for me because I found an opportunity to earn even during the pandemic. So
True.
blessing
You know
talaga
what?
from
The
God.
pandemic really is it's two things eh. It was a curse
Yes.
and it was a gift. Yeah, for some people talagang idinapa sila and nahirapan ng bumangon. But for others, it was a gift. Doon din talaga nag-boom ang freelancing industry during the
Yes.
pandemic.
Yes.
Suddenly, we all realized, so many people realized na things can be done pala even when you're staying at home. That
I
you can
see.
still
Yeah.
be productive, make money.
Yes,
Right?
because tama yung sinabi mo. If you have a growth mindset, you take this as an opportunity to learn and improve yourself. Kasi may ibang tao din na yung fixed mindset na parang wala na, katapusan ko na.
Exactly.
Parang problema lahat na nakikita and yet here you are. Everything is started during pandemic. So very inspiring siya actually. Very
Yes.
very very inspiring.
Thank
So,
you.
you've always been the kind of person but a very friendly. Kasi I remember from 16X, as mentioned nga by Jeff kanina, group of friendships kayo.
Yes.
Right? So, nung bata ka ba?
Group of beautiful girl. Grabe, ang gaganda.
Makatangkad, mapuputi, diba? Layo ng kulay nila sa atin, Jeff. So, pero nung bata ka ba, have you always been this kind of person na talagang you always surround yourself? Kasi may mga para ikaw, 'di ba girl, nung bata ka, very few lang talaga yung mga kaibigan mo. Very selected.
Kasi mahiyain talaga ako noon.
Kasi nung bata ako talaga, maano na talaga ako. I love
Friendly.
to surround myself with people na din talaga. So may mga barkada ako, talagang sumasama ako ng mga grupo-grupo. Ikaw ba ganun ka rin even when you were young?
Hindi po.
Ay, talaga?
No. Actually, I think up until now, I still consider myself as on the introvert side. But of course, when I
Nerd
have to,
side.
yeah,
Okay.
not really. Pero alam niyo po I'm the type of person na, okay, before if you're not going to talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you. Kasi like Miss Jev,
Same.
mahiyain din po ako nung bata ako. As in, I would just curl up in the side and tahimik lang talaga ako. But now, of course, in the industry and I always go to networking events,
Yes, you
I have
show
to step up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have to step out of my comfort zone.
Correct.
How did you overcome it?
How did I overcome it? Actually, you know, one of the biggest source of motivation talaga is my husband. He
Husband.
kasi yung
Hello po sa'yo.
Husband, iba ka talaga husband.
Alam mo,
Yeah.
on that note, no, totoo talaga eh, yung the partners that we are choosing,
You have to choose wisely.
especially when it is a romantic relationship, we really have to choose wisely kasi they can really contribute a lot to our growth or detrimental sila
Yes.
sa magiging growth natin. Hindi, we're not speaking about only about our partners, tayo din.
Mm.
'Di ba? Tayo
Yes.
rin as a
Yeah.
person kasi
Ang laki ng influence na kasama mo sila.
Yeah.
Like, 24/7.
kasama din nila tayo 24/7. So
Exactly.
imagine if we're the kind of women na hindi rin talaga
Empowered,
focusing,
na hindi
empowered,
empowered.
or hindi rin talaga intentional
Correct.
into the relationship, 'di ba?
Mm.
Talagang masisira at masisira yung relationship. So kudos to you, sir. Ang ganda ng ang ganda ng influence mo kay Miss Sheena. Ayan, please continue. Sorry.
Yeah, he's one of the people talaga. Actually, he's the person who always pushes me to step out of my comfort zone. Kasi siya,
Extrovert ba siya? Hindi
yeah,
naman.
extremely extrovert. I think Miss Joanna pareho kayo.
I'm not an extreme.
So,
Ano lang, X lang. Paano siyang extreme?
like, everyone in the room, he could talk to. And everyone in the room, parang kilala siya. I
Talaga?
remember kasama ko kasi siya sa GBI,
Oo.
the Guerrilla Business Intensive. And one of the participants told me, yung husband mo, no, parang lahat kilala niya dito.
Very
lahat
friendly.
nakausap niya na
Oo.
yan.
Baka naman may pangarap tong maging gobernador, parang si Pareng Braille.
Before, dream po niya yun. But now,
Talaga? Dream
Yeah,
maging politician?
yeah, it
Okay.
was his dream to become a politician. But he realized na siguro wag na lang. And let's just focus on building our own business because he's an aesthetic doctor.
Oh.
So you guys are doing two different things.
Yeah, completely different things.
Yes, and
talaga.
they support each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? Sa totoo lang naman din kasi talaga. For me kumbaga parang personal experience ko na it works best for me when the person that I am with is in the opposite ko.
Yeah.
Hindi kami, parang hindi po pwedeng pareho kaming, alam mo yun, laging go, 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 hi, hi, hi. Kailangan talaga may magbabalance out minsan eh.
Paano kami ni Ryan? Pero kami
Eh,
introvert.
hindi ko alam yung situation nyo. Kaya nga sabi ko, personal experience ko. Parang pareho kasi kami,
Yeah.
si husband ko, ano siya,
Introvert.
siguro ikaw yung husband ko. So, ako naman yung husband mo. Ganun,
Ah.
ganun din ka-extreme. Pero it works well for us.
Yeah.
Kasi yun nga, nakikita namin yung balance namin, how we can
Yes.
feel each other's cup, san kulang, san sobra.
That's why they
Yeah.
say opposites attract.
Yes. Anyway, ayan. Sheena, ano bang favorite songs mo when you were young?
Favorite songs when I was young? Well, I've been a big fan of Taylor Swift talaga. Swiftie ever since I was, I think,
Ano
grade
favorite
4.
song mo sa kanya?
Sample.
Ay, hindi po ako singer. Baka sumakit yung tenga.
Bigay na lang natin, si Jeb na lang.
Ikaw na lang, Miss Jeb.
Ano ko eh, pang 80s.
Ano ba ang favorite songs mo? And why Taylor Swift? Although kasi naman parang yung generation talaga right now, they're into
Generation
Taylor
talaga ni
Swift
Swiftie.
eh. Oo.
Ngayon, Beanie na.
Pero what's with Taylor Swift that you like?
What's with Taylor Swift? I think what I love about her is really the songs that she make. Yung
Real life
lyrics,
story kasi
yung
niya, no?
lyrics talaga. It's
Oo.
like, she's telling her story.
Yes.
And hindi lang siya basta maganda yung tone, but also the story, it's meaningful. And I think yung mga songs niya nung bata ako, like You Belong With Me, may mga crush kasi ako nun na, hindi ako crush. So, nakaka-relate ako dun sa song niya.
Tapos yung MTV pa nun talaga.
Yeah,
Oo ba?
apo, yeah.
So feeling mo yung...
She's very creative.
Very
and
relatable,
intentional.
yeah.
Yes. Pero what is it? Do you see any parang something that you can relate yourself to Taylor Swift? Kasi sometimes, I realize lang again, personal journey ko lang. The people that we get attracted to, and the
Yeah.
things that we want in life, kumbaga parang yung mga minamanifest natin, yung mga
Meron
nagugustuhan
kang
natin.
nakikita sa kanila.
It's a slice of
Yeah.
us.
It's
Yeah.
like a
Right?
mirror.
Yes.
Meron
So,
something
meron
about her
silang
na.
nire-reflect back sa
Correct.
atin. Parang, it's the same. Two ways yan eh.
Yeah.
The people that we like, meron yang nire-reflect back sa atin. And the
Yan.
people that we dislike,
Yeah.
meron din yang nire-reflect back sa
Correct.
atin. That
Yeah.
allows us, kung gagamitin nga natin yung pagiging, alam mo yun, pupunta tayo dun sa growth-oriented na backyard, magagamit mo siya so that you can further grow. But
Yeah.
for others, may mga instances na ginagamit nila yun just to foster hate.
Yeah.
Diba? So ikaw, ano yung part ni Taylor, o what's with Taylor na nakikita mo na parang, uy, kaya ko siya nagustuhan, eto ko. Eto kaming dalawa.
Yeah. I think it's the discipline that she has with her craft. Because I remember reading this article. Sabi niya, when she was training for the Eras Tour, the concert that she had last year for I think 2 years, she would go on the treadmill.
yes,
Tas
yes,
3
yes.
hours daw siyang maglalakad doon while singing all of her songs. And she
Yes.
does that every single day. And I think that's one of the things that I look up to her and I want to apply with myself. And I also see myself as a very disciplined person. Like when I want to achieve something, I know that I will be able to achieve it
Yeah.
kung may disiplina lang ako at may consistency lang ako na gawin yung mga bagay na kailangan kong gawin. And
Yes.
that's why I love her.
Speaking of consistency, among all artists, young artists, siya lang yung talagang nag-continue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Na yung fame,
Yeah.
yung songs continue talaga. Parang kasi other yung kasabayan niya, parang wala na.
Yeah.
Yes. Pinanood ko yung documentary niya sa Netflix, yung Miss America ba yun?
Miss Americana,
Yeah,
yeah.
Miss Americana. Oh, yan. Ang ganda na. Doon
Yeah.
ko siya hinangaan ng gusto. Kasi nga, syempre, hindi ko panahon si Taylor Swift eh. So,
Talaga ba?
nakikitay lang ako. Si Taylor Sawyer yata yun. Hindi ko siya panahon. Pero when I started to parang look, kasi napafascinate ako why millions of people are really going to the Eras Tour, spending a lot.
Yeah.
Ang daming Pinoy lumipad pa sa iba't
I
ibang
went to
parts of the
Japan.
world. Yeah,
To
Singapore,
attend the Eras
yeah,
Tour. Yeah.
just to watch her
Yeah.
perform live.
Yeah.
So doon ako noong na-trigger yung curiosity ko. And then I watched her documentary and she was talking about her journey nga there. So sabi ko, that's why. Sabi ko, grabe din, the grit,
Yes.
the
the
dedication
discipline,
and the
yeah.
commitment to the craft.
Yeah.
Kasi yun yung what separates, alam mo yung mga successful people, what separates them is the dedication to the craft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yun
At
yung
saka
nakikita ko.
she protects her image.
Yes.
Yung branding niya talaga.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Very wholesome
So
yung
even
branding
if
niya
mga
talaga.
young kids, na ina-idolize siya.
I
Even
agree.
the adults also.
Oo.
Yeah.
At saka kasi meron siyang hindi magandang article kasi nga yung paiba-iba siya ng boyfriend.
Yeah.
Naging branding niya.
Oo, pero
Naging
when I watched
branding
the
niya.
yung documentary, in a way, parang nawala sa akin yung bias. Kasi naging bias din ako sa kanya before, dun sa bagay
Kasi
na
yung writing song, sometimes yung emotions mo yun eh.
Yes.
Kung anong current
Yeah.
emotions mo, nagagawan mo ng song.
True.
Doon siya magaling eh. Doon talaga
Yes.
siya magaling. It just
Oo.
so happened, yun yan, nakakagawa siya ng songs out of the
Oo.
breakup ng boyfriend
Yes.
nila.
Speaking of bias, ano mga bias mo? Meron ka ba? Na parang, ayoko nito, ayoko niyan. May mga ganun ka ba? O gusto ko ito lang yung gagawin ko?
Yeah. Actually, sinasabi ko nga sa husband ko, siguro yung mga non-negotiables po no, hindi ko gagawin. I have a lot of those. Like, because I do have values. Na-define ko na yung values ko as a person. And if it's not aligned with the values that I have, I'm really not
You're gonna
going
walk
to
away.
do it.
Are you the kind of person who would be willing to walk away from a relationship when your values are tawag dito are in question or na-jeopardize?
You know, that's one of the lessons that I had to learn when I was younger. Because when I was younger, I went through a very bad breakup. Ang daming self-values na na-compromise because of that. And because of that relationship, I realized na if I'm going to lose myself because of this relationship, it's not the relationship that God has prepared for me.
Yes, I like that.
So, So yes, the answer to that is yes, I'm going to walk away in a relationship if I'm
Mhm.
going to lose myself. And
Mhm.
good thing that God has blessed me with a husband na, you know, he doesn't let me compromise my values,
Mhm.
but rather he encourages me pa nga na stick to your values kung hindi align yan sa values mo, because my values are, I value my faith, I
Mhm.
value integrity, I value authenticity, and I value service to people.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask me na maging inauthentic, magsinungaling sa mga tao, hindi ko talaga gagawin kahit bayaran mo ako, because
Yes.
it won't feel natural to me.
Correct.
Yes.
So, yun po yung mga hindi ko gagawin. And I would certainly walk out of the relationship if it doesn't align with my values and serve me anymore.
That's
Very
so nice. Yeah, that's so nice. To all her viewers, no, ng mga nanonood. Yeah, it's actually very important na
Never
Um,
lose yourself in a relationship.
never lose your relationship. But the most important for me is that right now, define already what you want,
Yes.
who
Yeah.
you want, right?
Yes.
So that when something happens, you can go back to yourself and to your
Yes.
values. Because yun yung magsasalba sa'yo
Correct.
from everything and anything. Because if anything would compromise you as a person, ang tanong lang dyan, would it be worth it?
Correct.
In the long run.
Yeah.
Kasi sometimes when we decide, right, ngayon na nakikita kasi natin yung scenario right now eh. And it's so easy to decide kapag nandito lang tayo sa itong moment lang na to. But when we try to step back and 3-5 years down the line, titingnan mo siya ganun kalayo, you would realize, no, it's not gonna be worth it for me.
Yeah.
And that would answer the question, ano yun, parang hanggang kailan ba? Ano to yun? How?
Hanggang saan ka lang?
Sige.
Enough is enough. Kailan mo masasabi na enough is enough?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yun.
Diba?
Pasok,
Yeah.
umabot,
Ko din.
umabot. Sige, Sheena, another question. Going back to your slam book life. So, kanina nabanggit na ni Jeb, mga favorite, diba?
Mhm.
Parang, is there any favorite food na nung bata ka, tapos every time nakakain mo siya ngayon, it brings back childhood
reminds you.
memories for
Parang
you?
ratatouille lang siya.
Yes.
Well,
without the sabunot-sabunot.
Nung bata ako, actually, yeah, I think it's the papaitan na laging niluluto
Wait,
ng
there are two
papa
kinds
ko.
of papaitan. Is it the papaitan of the Nueva Ecija or of the Ilocanos?
Ano
I
ba
think
difference?
Nueva Ecija kasi I'm
Tagalog,
from
ang
Tarlac
Tagalog na papaitan, hindi siya mapait.
Okay.
Ang
It's the mapait.
Yung mapait yung Ilocano.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Hindi ko
yung
alam
mapait.
yun.
Oo.
I didn't
Alam
know
ko
that.
lang,
Thank you
palang
for
dahil
that.
sa asawa ko. Kasi may papaitan sila. Nagulat ako.
Mm.
Yung papaitan nila, iba yung hindi siya mapait.
Hindi siya
Maasim-asim
mapait.
siya.
Mm.
Yun.
Oh.
Papait ang term nila. Papait
Yeah.
naman.
Okay.
Yan, oo.
So it's the papaitan na mapait po.
Mapait yung may abdo.
Yeah, yung may abdo.
Okay.
Because my dad loves to...
Ilocano siya?
No, he's actually Bisaya. From Cebu po siya.
From
Yeah,
Cebu.
but he loves to cook that nung bata pa lang ako. So, di ba parang pagbabae, ang arte ng mga babae. I won't eat papaitan. I've met
kasi mapait.
girls who...
Hindi kasi laman loob. Laman loob yan,
Yeah,
diba?
Oo, at
yes.
saka hindi mapait talaga siya, girl. Kasi may abdo yun eh.
Yeah, yeah.
Dinudurog yung abdo nun,
Yes.
diba?
Pero how do you maintain that kind of sexy figure?
Well, I do like to walk. So,
Walking.
kami ng husband ko, siya talaga nagpo-push sa akin. Kasi ako minsan, tinatamad ako. Pero siya, talagang pinupush na ako na, okay, let's go to BGC, mag-run tayo doon, mag-walk tayo doon. And for the food naman po, controlled lang din. Like, I only eat half
Do
a
you do
cup.
IF? Or
Ano?
less carb lang?
Hindi, kasi
Balanced diet lang.
I have a hyperacidity eh. So,
Mm.
kapag matagal ako hindi
Same,
nakakain, mag-a-act up siya. So, I can't do that. Pero, I think, for maintaining the weight talaga, control lang talaga sa food. Actually, medyo nag-gain weight nga ako the past few
Nag-gain weight pa
weeks.
siya talaga.
Girl, in fairness to you.
Grabe na to.
In fairness
Tinatago
to
ko
you.
na nga sa
Ano
blazer
ba
ko.
kung mabubulihin din pakiramdam mo? Joke lang. In fairness to us, kasi naman, syempre, we're already in our 40s, girl.
Hoy, baka.
Yeah, you
Hindi.
look amazing
Nung
po.
panahon, nung ganyang edad naman natin, I'm sure, maganda rin naman ang katawan
Isipin
mo.
ko.
Kasi ang payat ko when I was that age.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you look
started-
so amazing.
Yeah, I started gaining
Sheena.
weight na I
Kayo
was
din po.
already in my 30 something, mid-30s na ako. Pero ang payat ko sobra. Ako ang gusto ko itanong sa'yo, have you always been this prim and proper?
Yeah, alam mo, gusto gusto tanungin.
Yeah, I
Kasi
think
tinan mo, girl,
yes.
tayo nakailang question.
I think yes po.
Kasi we're loud. Consider ko, sabi ko loud.
Ikaw lang.
Pero very prim and proper. I'm like,
Soft-spoken.
Yes.
Alam mo,
Are you
parang-
always like this even
Try,
at home?
wait. Try natin. Try mo nga, girl. Dali, gayahin mo siya. Tapos yung ganun ka soft-spoken.
Ang hirap.
Try mo, dali.
Gusto ko yun.
Sa mga viewers po natin, gusto niyo po bang makita yung prim and proper side, the soft-spoken side ng isang Jebel Aurelio?
Bakit ako lang?
Sige ako din, try natin. Parang hindi ko kaya. Paano? Sige, Sheena, say something, gagayahin na.
Paano kunyari galit ka? Paano ka magalit?
Normal. I would, pero kasi emotional intelligence is something that I've been working on the past months.
Ganyan.
So, yun po. So, before, medyo extreme ako magalit because I'm a
Gano'ng
soft-spoken.
katagal yung before? Like, a year? Hindi, kasi, kasi minsan, diba,
Kabataan
may mga
days,
pangyayari,
high school.
may mga pangyayari na, alam mo yan, that would change
Yeah.
Yeah.
your personality
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
ways. Diba?
Before, I think siguro mga 1 year ago pa nga lang eh.
Kita mo?
But-
That's so recently lang.
Recently, you know, I would say na hindi ganun kataas yung emotional intelligence ko. And I don't know how to manage my emotions, how to manage my anger. And the first step that I did was to be aware na hindi ko pa alam ma-manage yung anger ko. And I realized that if I am going to get married and I am going to have kids, I can't bring that attitude into the marriage. And when I'm going to raise kids, hindi pwedeng ganun ako.
Yes,
Because yun din
true.
yung matuturo ko sa kanila. So,
True.
that was the turning point for me that I realized na I can't stay like this. I need to be able to manage my emotions, to manage my anger. I can feel it, I can name it, pero kailangan alam ko siya i-manage. And I don't
Yes.
have to shout whenever I'm angry. I have to be able to make a point kahit na galit ako. And I
True,
think
yes.
as a leader, very important din yung emotional intelligence. Kaya
Yes.
lately, I've also been really taking intentional steps para ma-improve yon. Like I read books about emotional intelligence, and in this training, I had a training na yun din yung topic. So if I want to change something, I have to take intentional steps. Otherwise, hindi ko siya mababago.
Correct.
Yes.
And how about cases na someone triggered you? Kasi may minsan out of nowhere biglang may nasabi sila. So, what do you usually do?
You know, before, like, kino-compare yung sarili ko before, I would easily get triggered. Talagang magre-respond talaga ako kapag na-trigger ako ng isang tao. But now I learned that there's actually a technique that you can do when you feel triggered. So, the first step really is kailangan aware ka sa mga triggers mo. And when you
True.
encounter it, talagang marirealize mo, okay, I'm being triggered. But the thing is, you can actually control yourself,
Yes.
how you're
Yes.
going to respond to it.
Yes.
So, in JRP, because I do JRP, I learned that,
Anong JRP?
John Robert Powers.
yeah.
Okay.
So, one of the things that I learned there, whenever I get triggered, is the snap technique. So, the snap technique means that once you get triggered, first thing that you're going to do is you're going to stop. So, stop ako, and I would do breathing techniques.
Breathing, yes,
So,
yes.
nakaka-help talaga siya before talaga. Grabe, fire lang ako. Respond talaga kagad.
Yes. Snap.
Yeah.
Snap technique.
And then,
Okay.
after the stop, the end is you have to name your emotion. So, ano yung nafe-feel mo right now? Are you angry? Are you sad? Are you frustrated? Are you lonely? Are you happy? You have to name your emotion. And after that, you have to ask yourself, that's for A.
Yes.
Ask yourself, why do I feel this emotion?
Yes.
And once you realize, okay, I feel angry because this person thinks that she can just walk all over me. And then after that, you process that. So, am I going to respond to this person and stoop over her level?
Mhm.
Or am I going to make a point and, not step down sa level niya because I am better than that
Yeah.
person?
Will I
And-
make a point? Because what's the point?
Yeah.
Pasensya ka na. This one is very nice.
Yeah.
Diba?
You
May
know
natutunan
what?
kayo
Actually,
today.
I didn't know I didn't know
There's a
the
name.
acronym.
That's
Pero
really,
that's actually may process also.
Yeah.
Whenever,
Yeah.
yun nga.
There's a
because-
name. There's a name pala, snap,
There's
no?
a name, oo.
Yeah.
Pero kasi, tinan mo ang ganda na ginamit nila yung snap kasi other people, unfortunately, they snap literally.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Oo.
Right?
So
When you
now,
get triggered.
to our
Yes.
viewers, yan po, when you feel like you're about to snap,
Just remember,
snap can have a different meaning. Stop, okay? Name
Name.
your emotions, ask yourself,
and process.
And process. Ayan.
Yeah.
So, coming from Sheena yan, guys. Galing sa JRP. Hindi namin kayo babanggitin na ulit.
Yeah, I have another question. Ito talaga something na excited ako to know. What is a weird fact about you that you're comfortable to share? Context. For example, we have friend na before siya, hindi siya nakakatulog nung walang kulambo. Di ba? Ganon.
Yes.
Something like that, ah. Huwag na masyadong seryoso.
Yeah.
You're just willing to share. Or hindi siya makakatulog kapag hindi niya akap-akap yung favorite unan niya. How about you, Sheena? May ganon ka ba?
Yeah, I'm thinking right now, pero I think siguro ang pinaka-weird na about me is I can't eat my rice without nor
Nor
na
seasoning.
seasoning. Yeah.
Oh.
Gusto ko may lasa yung rice ko.
Talaga.
Kahit na may
Yeah.
ulam.
Yeah,
Lalagyan mo pa rin
I
talaga
would
siya.
put nor seasoning, especially kapag feeling ko dry yung food.
So, nagra-rice siya.
Yeah,
Again,
I love
fairness
rice
to you.
po.
Nagra-rice
Don't feel
si Sheena.
bad.
Pero masarap nga yun. Favorite ko din ng
Yeah,
Nor.
yeah.
Talaga.
Parang kulang na lang sabaw
Kasi
na siya.
masyado siyang mabetsin for me eh.
Yun nga yun eh. Yun
Yun
yung masarap
nga
dun
eh.
eh.
It's bad, but it's so good.
Ako kasi hindi ako ma-rice. I don't do rice na. Sa lagay na to, hindi pa po ako nag-rice. Ako na lang lalaglag sa sarili ko. Kaya talaga. Matuto ka maglaglag sa sarili.
Nawirdoan na si Sheena.
Ganito talaga kami. Okay.
I
Sheena,
love your friendship po.
Sheena, another question for you.
Yeah.
How do you define love?
Ay.
Sa Islam book mo, ano yung sinulat mo? May nag-Islam book
Okay.
ka ba?
Before, how do you define love before?
and
Yeah.
now.
And now, ano naman ang definition mo ng love now?
Okay. So, before, I think every girl naman, no? Siguro ang definition before is love is like a rosary.
Sabi ko sa'yo eh, tumama din eh. Like,
Finally,
That's
meron na
full
rin.
of mystery.
diba?
may tumama
Yun
din
Yung
ang
bata.
talaga.
Meaning ko before
Lahat
eh.
yata,
Oo.
ganun, no?
Hindi, iba yung meaning mo eh. Ano yung sa'yo?
Okay
Love
na.
is like, ano yung sa'yo? Ano yung sa'yo? Walang, hindi pa rin namin alam. Kompletohin mo kasi yan.
Love is like a bubble gum.
Oo. Tapos,
Ito naman, pag dumikit. Nakalimutan ko yung kasunod.
guys, let's hold Jebeli accountable. Next time po, itanong natin na sa kanya, ipa-research na natin to.
Pero
Para
common yung
makumpleto.
love is like
Love is
a
oo,
rosary,
that's
full
the
of mystery,
normal,
love is
yeah.
blind.
Oo.
Meron bang love is God? Oh,
Yes,
mga safe
yes.
answers kasi
Love
yan,
is
diba?
time.
Ano nga
Yan
ba yung
mga most
love?
normal. Ngayon, how do you define love na?
Well, now I define, actually nasabi na ni Miss Jev, love is God. And perfect love, it
Yes.
is found by knowing the Lord.
Yes,
And
amen.
yung perfect love talaga, si Lord lang talaga ang makakapagbigay nun. And one of my favorite verses is love is patient, love is kind.
Yeah. At
Love is-
Corinthian.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians
1
13.
yeah.
So, it is not easily angered. And I also believe that love will not hinder you from doing the things that you love. As a matter of fact, mas ipupush ka pa if they really love you.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
it casts out fear
Mhm.
and it's not easily angered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, speaking of love, and love is patient, love is not easily angered. Anong dynamics nyo ng husband? Now, iba yung relationship when you are boyfriend and
Yeah.
girlfriend. Iba din yun pag magkasama na kayo sa isang bahay. When there's conflict, how do you handle conflicts or arguments?
Yeah. Before, we're not good at it. Before,
Ilan
before
taon na kayong married?
2 months.
Months.
3 months.
Kasal
Pero
nga lang.
tawag dito, gaano kayo katagal na magkarelasyon?
5 years po.
Ah,
5
5
years.
May changes ba? Na parang, ay, ganito ka pala. May mga may natutunan ka ba about your husband or about husband about you?
Well, actually, I think every day naman, of course, we're constantly evolving. We're constantly
Every day is a
changing, right?
discovery, no?
Yes.
Yeah, so of course, we always discover things about each other. But I would say na before we've gotten married, nakilala na din talaga namin yung isa't isa. And before, we were really broken people na hindi marunong mag-handle ng emotions, ng anger. But when we decided to get married, that was really the time na we decided na okay, hindi pwedeng ikakasal tayo pero ganito pa rin yung mga ugali natin. Hindi natin kaya i-manage yung emotions. Because, kung ano yung ugali mo ngayon, it will just amplify in
Nasa
marriage.
self-growth din ba si husband?
He loves self-growth.
Yeah, siya
that's
nag-introduce.
why.
Diba? Siya
Yeah.
nagsabi na
Yeah.
mag-attend tayo nito because it's
Exactly.
hard.
Oo. Yun yung nakaka-amaze, no?
Yes.
Oo.
It's good though if both of you are in personal development.
Mm.
Malaking
Yeah.
bagay siya sa relationship.
Napakalaki.
Malaki
Yes.
talaga.
Oo.
Yeah, that's one of the things na isa din sa mga values namin. Kaya ang dami-dami naming trainings na ina-attendan. Next time, ma-attend po kami ng cash flow workshop. Yeah.
Saturday na siya.
Really?
Hindi pa pala.
I
Eto,
have a
meron
training
meron
kasi
kami
this
Saturday. Tara na, join ka. Join us.
May training kasi ako about AI but definitely I'll attend
Yeah.
that, Miss.
We
Next
have also
month.
another unmessable. I think kapag nag-unmessable kayo, mas, lalo na newly married, I would highly
Yes.
recommend unmessable to you guys.
Wow.
Because
Sige,
it's
I'll
really
check that
going
out.
to define relationship for you
Mm.
on a different note. Na parang, ganun lang pala kasimple yun.
Yeah.
Yan
And you
siya.
will discover things about you and your husband na,
Wow.
that's the reason why you always, you're not in the same page.
Mm.
Because sometimes kasi, you blame each other.
Yeah.
Pero
At
may
saka
isip mo,
not at all times kasi, marriage naman kasi, not at all times, ano siya, a walk, in the park.
Yeah.
Iba tayo,
A walk in
park,
the
cloud ka na.
Cloud ako. Kasi kaka-appraise ko lang ng cloud. Hindi, it's diba, a walk in the park, a walk in the cloud, a walk
Yeah,
in the
totoo.
cotton if you want.
Yeah.
Diba? Pero there are times kasi talaga, kasi two different personalities pa rin with the same intention nga to be together as one.
Yes.
But of course, because of the experiences growing up,
True.
diba, a
True,
different
true.
childhood, different upbringing,
Yes.
there would be instances pa rin talaga along the way na magka-clash,
Yeah.
magkakaroon ng mga trigger points,
Yeah.
no matter how, alam mo yun, aral na aral mo na yung mga triggers mo. So, unmessable for you guys is gonna really help you.
We'll be there.
Oo. Ako,
Sa
alam
next
mo, sa lahat po ng
Unmessable.
mga ikakasal pa lang, umattend po kayo ng unmessable program po namin. Para
Baka may
ma-realize po,
discover kayo, no?
yes, para po ma-realize ninyo ang tanong sa ate, di ba ang mga babaeng hilig magtanong, bakit mo ko love? Di ba ang kulit natin ng mga babae? Masasagot yung tanong na yun
Is
in a
he-
very simple way.
Is he really the one?
Wag naman. The one you already made the decision So how are you going to solidify? Para i-ano mo siya, i-shift mo yung perspective mo na I married the right person because I say so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sabi mo,
Yun.
papunta
Love
pa lang
that.
ng kasal.
Hindi kasi,
Kasal
syempre,
na.
nag-ano na, getting ready na girl, gumastos na. May venue na.
Uy, malaki-laki na binayad ko.
Nag-propose na, may ring na. Ayan. Sheena, last question for you, no? So, ang ganda ng conversation natin. Thank you so much for all the insights na shinare mo sa amin. Ako, one last question na lang is that, if you are going, ito masyado na tong cliche na tanong, 'di ba? Nung bata ka, while you were answering those lambok questions, and there was a part there na, who do I want to be? 'Di ba? And then you look back at that, is it the person that you are right now? Can you tell the young Sheena na, hoy, success tayo, or okay lang, be happy. Kasi yung mga sinabi natin na gagawin natin, or magiging tayo, nagawa natin.
Yeah, I would say that I'm happy with the version of myself right now. And I think if I'm going to tell a 6-year-old Sheena right now na at 26, you'll be helping Filipinos achieve time and financial freedom through your digital products and courses, she would be amazed because what I'm currently doing, it's bigger than myself. I'm actually making an impact to my students, and I'm actually living out the purpose that God has for my life. So I think that's the most important part, that if I'm going to tell my younger self na, yes, at 26, you are doing great. Actually, better than you've ever imagined. You didn't become a flight attendant, but the purpose that God had for your life, which is to become a coach, it was bigger than that.
Yes. And you
Yes.
get to travel.
Yeah.
You get to
Yes.
ride the plane
Without worrying about money.
Not as an FA,
Yes.
but as the passenger and enjoying the ride.
Yes.
Correct.
Diba?
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
big difference.
Yeah.
It should be just better din talaga, no?
Mm.
Sometimes kung hindi mo totoo talaga yun, no? Minsan hindi mo nakukuha yung gusto mo because God.
Has
It's
bigger plans.
yeah. It's a redirection
Yes.
from God.
Absolutely.
Because yun nga, di ba sabi, ako I always believe kasi na His plans for me would always be greater and
Yes.
bigger than my own plans.
Correct.
So
Definitely.
trusting and surrendering on the process that He's putting us in.
Yes.
And when you trust and surrender, meaning you believe. I mean, like, even an ounce of fear, wala talaga. When you
Which
say
is
trust
hindi
and
siya, ano, it's not an easy process.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right? Because I think human being talaga, na-wire na sa atin yung fear. Because nga, di ba, with the evolution and everything, kung saan tayo nanggaling before. Pero there are ways
Yes.
to remove the fear. Or not remove actually. Ang sabi sa akin ng spiritual mentor ko, to transmute the fear. Transmute, kumbaga parang, kanina you talk about emotions,
Yeah.
na i-assess mo siya. Ang tinuro niya sa akin, no label naman.
Mm.
Parang acknowledging lang na, okay, I'm feeling, parang, naiinggit ako ngayon,
Yeah.
naiinis ako ngayon, natatakot ako ngayon. At tapos hindi mo siya bibigyan ng reason na, kasi si Jeff ginawa niya sa akin to. Kasi si Sheena sinabi niya sa akin to. Si ganito kasi inagaw niya sa akin or inalis niya sa akin yung ano. Or kasi sinabihan niya ako. No label.
Yeah.
So you just say na, okay, I'm feeling fear right now.
Mm.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
I
And
love
then, because it's a valid emotion, at the end of the day,
Every emotion is a valid.
Every emotion is a valid emotion.
Yeah.
It's a valid feeling.
Yeah.
So, I just tell myself right now na parang, okay, naiinis ako ngayon. Alright, I acknowledge you. Now, I am transmuting you to a more productive energy.
Mm.
So, i-ano mo daw siya, i-transmute mo siya para gamitin mo yung energy to make it productive for
para
you.
hindi ka ma-stuck dun sa
Yes.
emotion na
And
yun.
then, gagamitin mo siya ngayon as fuel.
Yes.
So, pandagdag siya sa fuel mo.
Correct.
Yan, transmuting yung tinuro niya sa akin. Yun.
I love that.
I love this conversation, but we really have to end. Bakit kailangan
Ang
mag-end,
bilis.
no?
Tanong natin kay Melo. Melo, bakit nga ba?
Pero before anything else, we would like to acknowledge all our sponsors.
Ay, nako naman.
Yes.
Without them, wala si Slambook Millionaire.
Yes.
Diba? So, sino nga ba sila, Jevelie?
Yes, of course, let's start with Pillow Breads PH. Thank you so much, Clara, our love. Pillow Beds PH. Laura's Enterprise or Laura's Trainings.
Yeah, the biggest
I am
sponsor.
Fantabulous.
Of course.
And Smoke Love Barbecue.
Yes.
Thank you so
Maraming
much for the
salamat
support.
po for supporting our show. And if you're watching right now and if you want your brand, your product, or your company be part of the Slambook Millionaire, you feel it in your heart na ito yung program na gusto kong suportahan and I
Yes.
want my brand to be associated with.
Yes.
You're very much welcome po to be one of our sponsors. All you have to do is to message our page and then let's talk. We will be happy to welcome you in.
Yes, and of course, we would like to thank Sheena for your time. Thank you for sharing all the wisdom. We learned a lot from you. So, do you have a last message for all our viewers?
And also, saan ka nila mafa-follow?
Yes.
Yan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Any last message for the viewers? I think right now what I would say is if you want to achieve the success that you have been dreaming of, because I know that many of your viewers are, watching this because they want to get success tips, but really what I want to highlight is the discipline and the consistency.
Yes.
That's one of the habits that you really need to develop.
Yes.
Because if you just, be relentless in wanting to achieve the thing that you want, you will be able to achieve it. Kahit hindi pa siya mangyari ngayon, pero as long as you do not stop, you will be able to achieve it. And just like Miss Jev, Miss Joanna, they've built a very successful education business that's changing the lives, even mine, of a lot of people. Just be relentless in achieving your dreams and eventually you'll be able to do it.
Ayun, ang ganda nun. Be relentless. So where they can follow you?
You can follow me on Facebook. My Facebook page is Sheena Gorgonio, and also on TikTok, it's Sheena & Co Digital.
Yun. Alright. We had a very amazing, fun, chill,
Informative.
and proper conversation with Sheena. Once again, thank you so much for gracing us, your time. Alam mo, talaga time is the most valuable, the most precious asset one can give you. So that's why we are so grateful to you kasi binigay mo sa amin yung almost 1 hour mo just to have this conversation.
And without a doubt, when we invited her,
agad-agad. Yes. So maraming salamat for believing in us and for supporting us. And of course, to you, our dear listeners, our dear viewers, thank you once again for joining us in this episode with Sheena. Maraming salamat din sa time na binigay mo sa amin, and I hope marami ka pong napulot from this conversation na magagamit mo naman to your own Islambook Millionaire journey. So until then, thank you. God bless you. Bye for now.
bye!